Yo, so I get questions all the time because people see me posting and stuff like that. What are macros? I don't know what my macros are or what they are or what they should be at or how I'm supposed to eat it, whatever. So I'm going to show you guys what they are. Okay, this is my FitnessPal app. Okay, this is how I track my food, right? So my clients track their food, right? Now I want to show you something. Now I have all my meal names as like a little affirmation, so that way whenever I come in, like I'm shredded, I'm 6%, I'm on point, right? So that's just a little programming I do with my mind, right? So here's what I want you guys to look at, okay? Right where it says I am shredded, see right below where it says carbs, fat, and protein, okay? That is your macros. Your macros are short for macronutrients, and this is basically your protein, carbs, and fat measured in grams, right? And you have a specific amount of these, a specific amount of protein you should be eating every day, specific amount of fats, and a specific amount of carbs that you need to be limiting or eliminating in order for you to create the calories that you want to be consuming so you can either trigger your body to or force your body to burn fat or help you build muscle, right? So when it comes to your specific calorie amount, we focus on the specific macronutrients to hit those calories. Make sense? So for example, if you look at this little thing right here, right, where it says, this is basically what I've had so far today. I'm having my first meal right now, and I have a pound of shrimp and then a pound of haddock, okay? So it's only 320 calories plus 250 calories, but 127 grams of protein, right? And 5 grams of fat. Now, I actually am going to be eating a lot more than this. So I'll probably have some ground beef and stuff later. So let me give an example of what this would look like if I added some ground beef, right? So I'm probably going to eat that later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some ground beef. Here it is right here. It's the same one that I use all the time. So I just added that to my list there. Okay. And then what we're going to do is go back. Now my ground beef is added in there. So I'm going to have a pound of ground beef. Now look, I've had 73 grams of fat, 211 grams of protein, right? Those are my macros for the day. Now, I typically, for the most part, during the week, I usually keep my carbs pretty low. So I typically don't even eat vegetables most of the time. So I usually keep my carbs pretty low. It's one of my little secrets to staying lean, right? Is you keep carbs low. And because that helps you keep your diet in check, because when you eat carbs, any carbs, okay, when I'm talking carbs, I'm talking about like fruit, potatoes, rice, things like that, not bread, pasta, and shit like that. I never touch that stuff. So I'm speaking of the healthy versions, right? But all carbs, keep this in mind, you guys, all carbs trigger cravings for more carbs. So you go have that bite of a banana, you're going to want to eat 10 more bananas, okay? You go eat that potato, you're going to want 10 more potatoes, right? So I don't like feeling like that. So for me, I like to personally not eat those foods because I know they're going to trigger more cravings because that's how our brains are wired. They're wired to be that way, right? And on top of that too, you burn more fat when your carbs are lower because your insulin levels are lower, right? Because when you eat carbs, it triggers a storage hormone called insulin. When insulin is in your blood, fat burning comes to a halt, right? So for many of you that are eating carbs every single meal, guess what? You ain't burning fat the entire time that all these carbs are in your system, right? So that's another reason why I like to keep my carbs low during the week and stuff. So I'm pretty much more carnivore-like, right, during the week most of the time. So I do like what's known as like carnivore carb cycling, which I'm going to be writing a book about this in the future. How to actually do this is just one of my little secrets on how I get shredded, right? Like when you see some of my crazy clients' transformations and it happens super fast, that's how they did it. Carnivore carb cycling. So you just basically go no carbs, just basically meat, right? Eggs, fish, stuff like that, super low carb, and then you have a refeed day that's a higher carb day. So that's this whole different video. But for right now, just know your macros are your protein, your carbs, and your fat measured in grams. And that's how you achieve your desired calorie amount, your calorie intake. Okay, so that's what macros are. And this is how you track it. And this app is called MyFitnessPal. Okay, this is what all my clients use. This is what they report to me, right? They take a screenshot of their numbers. I look at them every day, make some suggestions, yell at them if I want to. And another little hack with this app as well too. If you'll notice, I track all my food under that meal one. The reason I do this, and I don't know if this is true on iPhone, but I know for my Samsung, I track it all under the first meal because it shows me my macros right there in that first meal. So I don't even have to go to the nutrients tab. So let me show you what that looks like. So if you don't do it this way and you track each individual meal, you'll have to go to the nutrition page, right? And then look at this tab right here, so the nutrients one. So it'll pop you in here normally. Don't go to that one, go to the nutrients one. And then this is where you'll see my protein goals, right? My carbohydrate goals, which I typically do 0, right? But I just have it set at 83. I could really change these, but, and then my fat, 110 grams, right? Is a minimum that I intend on eating. Now I typically do lower carbs, so that means you have more room to eat more fat or eat more protein, okay? So, because I still have room for my calories. So watch this. I'll even show you a little trick right here. I'll even change my macros right now. Okay, so watch this. I'm gonna go here. These are my calories. I'm gonna drop this down to say 5%. So that's, if I chose to eat just vegetables, it would be about 27 grams of carbs, right? I'm just gonna bump my protein and my fats up, right? Boom. So now that I've cut my carbs even more, I can actually eat 247 grams of protein and 134 grams of fat, right? If I wanted to, right? Actually, I think I went a little over there. 122 grams of fat. That's what it should have been. Okay, so that's what I could do instead, right? Which is what I typically do. I just don't have it tracked like that. So I just usually leave it like this. So, but anyway, that's how you do that. And that's how macros are, right? That's what macros are. That's how you actually do this. That's how you track your food. So if you have any questions on any of this stuff, you need to learn more about this, you need a coach to hold you accountable to make sure you follow these and you hit your macros, and you need a meal plan, you need a workout plan, you need a coach to help you get there. So reach out to me and I will guide you, support you, and hold your hand all the way to the finish line. So I'm here to help, but you got to reach out. I don't know who you are unless you reach out. So anyway, there's a little macro lesson for today. We'll see you next time.